What up, though? I'm your host, Steelers Weasel, and in today's episode, we're going to be discussing the 2024 quarterback room for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, before we get into it, I just want to quickly thank you guys for the amount of support I've been getting in my recent videos. As always, I am very always blessed and thankful for all the opportunities I have. And with that, I just also want to point out that I have upgraded my set. As you may know, I posted some videos with my iPhone, but now I got an actual webcam, I have a microphone, I have some lighting. I'm trying my absolute best to make it at least presentable for you guys. But like I said, we're going to get into it. We're going to be talking and discussing about the quarterback room heading into 2024. So, as always, let's get into it. Alrighty, guys. So, also I apologize for the different camera angle. I just got this webcam not even like 30 minutes ago, so I'm just trying to test it all out. But anywho, we're going to be talking about the quarterback room for the Pittsburgh Steelers heading to the 2024 NFL season. So, my predictions personally will be having Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, and Kyle Allen as our three main quarterbacks. Now, I do think, or at least do hope, the Steelers bring in John Rhys Plumlee as a practice squad member. I do personally think he could be a backup even next year. I just think he is a great athlete, multi-sport athlete in college and UCF, and I personally do think he can become a backup because he needs a little bit more development. I do think our quarterbacks right now are much better than him currently. Now, our third string, have to say it is Kyle Allen. Kyle Allen had some starting success in with the Commanders, Panthers, and I think Texans, but most recently played for the Bills. I always liked Kyle Allen. He was one of those people on Madden where I guess for some reason I just liked him. I just randomly signed him if he was a free agent. I don't know why. I just personally like Kyle Allen. So I'm glad to see him in the black and gold. Now, I do not think he will see any playing time, especially with our quarterback room. I mean, unless both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields tear off their legs. But I do think he is a solid number 3 guy. I don't think he will stay after this year. I do think he will just ride off somewhere else, as I do believe we're going to keep Justin Fields and John. But, I do think that he is a solid number 3 option for us heading into the 2024 season. And then now, let's head into the more lengthy discussion just to get rid of the two kind of backups out the way. We got Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Now, focusing on Russell Wilson first. Russell Wilson spent a long time in Seattle, went to 9 Pro Bowls there, and won a Super Bowl, had 2 Super Bowl appearances. Phenomenal quarterback. Then one of the biggest blockbuster trades in NFL history, went over to the Broncos, where he sadly did not do as good as people hoped. I do not think his time there was miserable, per se. But I just personally think his stats and his play was underappreciated. Now, I do get where Broncos fans were going with. I mean, you guys traded, what was it, like 3 first-rounders, 2 second-rounders, and 3 honestly great players. So it was a lot to give up for not top 5 quarterback play, which I do admit Russell Wilson was not top 5. But I do think his play was pretty well. I mean, if you guys just signed him, just signed him for a 3-year contract, he did play pretty well. Not really in 2022, but in 2023, he was honestly a very good quarterback. And I do think his situation with Sean Payton was just awful, as well as Nathaniel Hackett. So I do not think he had a really fair chance at being the best quarterback as he could be. However, I personally do believe that he is in a situation where he can thrive in Pittsburgh. We have Jalen Warren, Najee Harris, Pat Freiermuth, Darnell, George Pickens, Van Jefferson. We have not only that, but there's a great O-line that has been revamped over the past 2 seasons. So I do think he has the situation to thrive and once again prove to the NFL that he is still a starter in this league. Now, unless he does ball out, I do not think we will keep him. I think it will just be a more mutual understanding where Russell Wilson comes here to start to show off that he can still be a starter, as the Steelers keep him so he can be a leader and mentor toward Justin Fields this season. I do think he will go out and branch off, maybe possibly compete for a starting job or just even start for a team down the line. But at least for 2024, I do think he'll be the starter for the majority of the year. Now, I do hope that he will start for the whole year, but I would like to see a little bit of Justin Fields, as I think anyone should. But yeah, I do have high hopes for Russell Wilson. I do think he will succeed in the Steelers' offense with Arthur Smith at offensive coordinator, but I do not think we will keep him for more than this year. So that is my take on Russell Wilson, and now heading towards the new kid on the block, Justin Fields. Justin Fields, of course, I believe he was 11th overall out of Ohio State to the Chicago Bears, and it was a big dilemma talking about who wants Caleb Williams or Justin Fields. Now, I was a big advocate for Justin Fields coming to Pittsburgh. I did want Kenny Pickett to succeed, but he was just not the greatest in that. I guess we saw enough flashes, but he wasn't as flashy as Justin Fields were. Both I do think were pretty similar in their play in the past 2 seasons. Not the greatest, but still showed some flashes to be a franchise guy and just needed that little development or that little mentorship to further himself. But I do like Justin Fields' situation a lot more than what we would get with Kenny Pickett as a backup. Because Russell Wilson is a great passer, obviously, but he is a underrated rusher. He can run the ball when he needs to. He can extend plays. He is one of the greatest escape artists the game has ever seen. And giving Justin Fields a mentorship with someone that knows his play style, knows his rushing abilities, and knows his rushing skills, and can turn him into a great passer, I think it's just a great situation. Because we bring in someone like Andy Dalton, Nick Foles, whenever he was in Chicago, right? They never ran the ball for more than 30 yards. So they didn't really have the standpoint to understand where Justin Fields was coming from. Whereas Russell Wilson, he knows how to run the ball. He knows how to escape the pocket. He knows how to extend the plays like Fields does. And I think it's a great situation for Wilson to teach Justin Fields with the understanding that Fields has. You know what I mean? And I think Fields will develop and learn greatly under Wilson's leadership. I do think he will be our franchise guy moving forward 2025. Now, I do not think he'll start or at least just play for a lot of the season. I do think we'll throw him in on a lot of plays. I just don't personally think he'll play a lot in 2024. I do think they could use him kind of like a Marcus Mariota back in whenever he played for the Raiders. Because, whenever Derek Carr would take a play off, they'll put in Marcus Mariota. And, the defense knew it was a run, but it was still very nice to just have that passing ability while just kind of the unknowing on the run game with like the double option or triple option. So I do think they will use him as they would with Marcus Mariota. But I do really, really hope Justin Fields succeeds in Pittsburgh as well as Russell Wilson. Of course, I do like Arthur Smith as the offensive coordinator, as of course he is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, rushing minds in the NFL currently. He could bring 6-round picks out of BYU like Tyler Algier into 1,000-yard rushers. He can turn anybody into a great running back, and I think he can know what Justin Fields wants in an offense, and he can just play it to that. I think they will very much connect with one another and play off of one another very well in the offenses, as well as Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, is a very nice rusher, but he can also, throw the ball very well, and I think Arthur Smith's offense has kind of reflected on that with, Ryan Tannehill, Marcus Mariota. While Marcus Mariota weren't the greatest, they did seem comfortable in their offense. So I do think Arthur Smith will be great for not only Russell Wilson but also Justin Fields. But overall, Justin Fields, I do think is the franchise guy. I do not think he will play for most of the 2024 season, but I think he will get the reins as the quarterback run heading into the 2025 season. I think John Rhys Plumkin, or Plumlee, Plumpkin, I don't know why I said pumpkin, Plumlee will be the backup. I think Kyle Allen and Russell Wilson will both see opportunities elsewhere. I do hope the best for them heading into the 2025 season. But that was a quick little, very quick take on my predictions for the quarterback room heading into the 2024 season. I hope you like this. I hope you and your family have a wonderful, blessed night. And yeah, so thank you for checking out me on my brand new setup. And yeah, thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.